Mother, have you seen Pickering? Oh, you do look nice.
Yes, I saw Colonel Pickering, and Henry, dear, I'm most provoked. I understand you've brought a common flower girl from Covent Garden to my box.
Oh, she'll be all right. I've taught her how to speak properly, and she's on strict orders as to her behavior. She's to keep to two subjects, the weather and everybody's health. Sort of fine day and how do you do, and not let herself go on about things in general. Now, look after her, Mother. You'll be safe.
Safe? To talk about our health in the middle of a race?
She's got to talk about something.
Henry, you're not even dressed for Ascot.
I changed my shirt.
Where is the girl now?
Getting pinned. The clothes that we bought her didn't quite fit her. I told Pickering we should have taken her with us.
You're a pretty pair of babies playing with your live doll. Mrs. Eynsford Hill.
Oh, damn. Are all these people with you?
Mrs. Higgins, is this your celebrated son?
I'm sorry to say my celebrated son has no manners. He may be the life and soul of Royal Society soirees, but he's rather trying in more commonplace occasions. Colonel Pickering, you're just in time for tea.
Thank you. Mrs. Higgins, may I introduce Miss Eliza Doolittle?
My dear Miss Doolittle.
How kind of you to let me come.
Delighted, my dear. Mrs. Eynsford Hill, Miss Doolittle.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Lord and Lady Boxington, Miss Doolittle.
How do you do?
How do you do?
And Freddie Eynsford Hill.
How do you do?
Oh, how do you do?
Miss Doolittle.
Good afternoon, Professor Higgins.
The first race was very exciting, Miss Doolittle. I'm so sorry you missed it.
Will it rain, do you think?
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain. But in Hertford, Hereford, and Hampshire, hurricanes hardly ever happen.
How awfully funny.
What is wrong with that young man? I bet I got it right.
Smashing.
Hope we won't have any unseasonably cold spells. It brings on so much influenza, and our whole family is susceptible to it.
My aunt died of influenza, so they said. But it is to my belief that they done the old woman in.
Done her in?
Yes, Lord love you. Why should she die of influenza when she come through diphtheria right enough the year before? Fairly blue with it she was. We all thought she was dead. But my father, he kept ladling gin down her throat. She come to so sudden, she bit the bowl off the spoon. Now, what call would a woman of that strength in her have to die of influenza? And what become of her new straw hat that should have come to me? Somebody pinched it. And what I say is, them as pinched it, done her in.
Done her in? Done her in, did you say?
Oh, yes, that's the new small talk. To do someone in means to kill them.
Surely don't you think what Aunt was doing?
Oh, do I not? Them she lived with would have killed her for a hat pin, let alone a hat.
But it can't have been right for your father to pour spirits down her throat like that. It might have killed her.
Not her. Gin was mother's milk to her. Besides, he poured so much of it down his own throat, he knew the good of it.
Do you mean that he drank?
Oh, drank, my word. Something chronic. Here, boy, what are you sniggering at?
The new small talk. You do it so awfully well.
If I was doing it proper, what was you laughing at? Have I said anything I oughtn't?
Oh, not at all, my dear.
Well, that's a mercy anyhow. What I always say.
Suppose there's enough time before the next race to place a bet. Come, my dear.
No, I don't believe so, Colonel.
I have a bet on number 7. I should be so happy if you would take it. You'll enjoy the race ever so much more so.
That's very kind of you.
His name is Dover.
Dover.
There they are again, lining up to run. Now they're holding steady, they are ready for it. Look, it has begun.
Come on. Come on, Dover. Come on. Come on, Dover. Come on. Come on.